Today's practice is going to be focused on our lower back. A lot of us tend to have achiness in our lower back. Sometimes we hold chronic tension in our low backs. So we are going to work today on stretching and releasing the muscles in that space in our body. We're also going to counter that with some strengthening in the core and also strengthening the muscles in our back body as well. So yoga is a fantastic practice to help with any achiness or any chronic pain that we might have in our low backs. So let's get right to it. All right, we're going to start just seated with our feet flat on the floor. And you could be on a yoga mat if you have one. Otherwise, just straight on the floor is fine as well. Let's start with our hands on our shins. As you inhale, press your feet into the floor. Start to lift up through your spine a little bit more. Roll your shoulders back and start to lift your gaze just slightly. As you exhale, start to draw your chin down towards your chest, round through your upper back, your mid back, and then down into your lower back as your belly draws in really tight. Inhale, lift up through the crown of your head as you bring your torso forward, your shoulders come back slightly. You open up through your chest. Exhale, let the movement begin from your upper back, chin towards your chest, rounding, making a C shape with your back body. One more time, nice and slowly as you inhale, you kind of come forward a little bit on your sitting bones. You lift up through the front of your torso into your chest. Open up through the front of your neck. And then just come back to a nice neutral spine, taking your hands to the backs of your thighs. Draw your belly in, kind of scoop out your abdomen as you round through your lower back, and then slowly roll all the way back down onto your mat. Good. Now move around if you need to get your lower back comfortable. You can take your hands to the flesh of your buttocks. So take your hands right underneath you and then just sweep that flesh forward towards your heels so that you feel maybe a lengthening in your lower back. Your hands can rest on your thighs. Soften your shoulders down to the floor. And just take a few breaths into your belly here. Start to bring your awareness more inward, noticing the inner landscape of your thoughts. Notice how your body is feeling. And then just come back to feeling your breath. Feeling your belly fill with breath and prana. With every inhale, your abdomen kind of fills up and presses gently against your hands. And as you exhale, your belly releases down towards the earth. All the breath comes back out. Good. With your next inhale, gently draw your knees up towards your chest, taking your hands to the fronts of your shins. Draw your shoulder blades back and down onto the floor. As you exhale, gently draw your knees away from your chest. Arms are straight, and as you inhale, draw your navel down. Bring your knees all the way up towards your chest, kind of rounding through your lower back. Exhale, your knees gently come away from your torso. And inhale, gently draw your knees in, kind of scooping your belly out. Exhale, knees away one last time. And inhale, draw your knees in. Good. Now keep your right knee hugged in as you straighten your left leg long, opening up the left side of your hip. And we'll do that same exercise a few times. As you exhale, draw just your right knee away from your chest. Your hands are interlaced around your shin. Exhale, draw your knee in. Make sure your left hip is pressing down into the floor. Your left leg is long. Draw your right knee away from your body. And then draw it back in. Good. As it comes slightly away from your body, again, bring your left knee forward to meet your right. Now lengthen your right leg forward and down. Your toes and your knee are pointing directly up towards the sky. Interlace your hands the opposite way from before. As you inhale, draw your left knee up towards your heart. And exhale, gently draw it away from your chest. Inhale, draw it slightly in. And exhale, gently away. Good. Do that one more time. Beautiful. Draw your right knee back up towards your left. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest and just rock a little bit left and right. If that brings any tension into your lower back or any kind of pain, please stop. But it might feel nice just to massage your lower back here. And then with your hands still on your knees, start to circle your knees in a clockwise direction, nice and slowly. And see if you can feel the outer edges of your pelvic rim, the rim of your pelvis, the back edge. And then gently switch directions. Notice if one side of your lower back feels tighter than the other. It's good to note any differences in different sides or various sides or aspects of your body. Bring your feet all the way down towards the earth. Bring your hands to rest at your sides. Now feel all four corners of your feet firmly planted. So lengthen your toes long. Press into your big toes and your pinky toes. Press into the inner edges of your heels, the outer edges of your heels. And then as you inhale, start to just lift your tailbone slightly up towards the sky. So you're scooping out your belly. Again, you're going to feel your lower back kind of round into the floor. As you exhale, start to bring your tailbone forward and down so that you feel your pelvic bowl shift. So it's almost as if you have a string attached to your belly button and it's lifting your belly up. And then just continue with these. They're very minor movements, very slight. Keep pressing your feet firmly down into the floor to keep your knees over your ankles. And see if you can isolate the movement just in your pelvis. Coming from the lower part of your body. Good, last one here. All right, the next time you start to lift your tailbone up towards the sky, you could peel your buttocks up and away from the floor, and you don't have to go too high. You just come until where it feels natural to stop, and then as you exhale, articulate your spine one vertebrae at a time all the way back down to the floor, letting your tailbone be last. And then inhale, gently lift your tailbone up, peeling your spine up and away from the floor, engaging through your glutes and your thighs. And exhale, slowly, gently release your hips to the floor, but moving from your spine. Last one here. Keep your gaze up towards the sky, long through the back of your neck, and soft through your shoulders. All right, take a full body stretch here, lengthening your legs long. Unless that brings any tension into your lower back, then keep your knees bent and just reach your arms overhead. Stretching your arms nice and long, press your belly down towards the floor, flex your feet, toes up towards the sky, and reach all the way out through your heels. Take a few breaths here. Good, and then gently release your arms to your sides. As you bend your knees, just roll directly over onto your right side, coming towards a fetal posture, and then press yourself gently up, letting your head be the last thing to rise. We'll come on to our belly now. So come all the way down onto the floor, coming onto your abdomen. You'll walk your elbows underneath your shoulders, having your forearms directly out in front of you, so your middle fingers are pointing directly forward towards the front edge of your mat. I tend to take my legs out a little bit wider here, a little bit wider than my hips, as that gives some more space into your sacrum and your lower back. Now use the strength of your arms. Get my hair out of the way. Use the strength of your arms to lift your spine up. Roll your shoulders back and down so you feel your shoulder blades tucking towards your back waist. And then feel some space opening up through your chest and in between your collarbones. Good. And now you can shift a little bit here. Engage through your glutes. So kind of strengthen around your lower back. Strengthening through your core as well. So drawing your lower abdomen in towards the center and then your upper ribs in towards one another. Take a few breaths as you feel that engagement through your core. Your belly is drawing in towards your spine. And then as you exhale, gently release through the glutes. Soften your shoulders back again. Soften through your lower back. We'll do that one more time. Gently draw your belly in towards your spine. Engage through your glutes. Feel your hips engage. Your thighs squeeze in towards the bones. Your upper rib cage is knitting in towards the center. Good. One more breath as you hold all that in. And then exhale, gently release. Let all the muscles soften and let the bones just support you here. Take a few more breaths. You can even draw your chin in towards your chest if you'd like a little stretch to the back of your neck. But keep drawing your shoulders back and away from your ears. Good. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, gently release your forehead down to the tops of your hands. Your elbows are going to reach out wide. It might feel nice here to bring your big toes all the way together to touch and just let your heels fall out towards the outer edges of your mat. Let your forehead rest down. Breathe into your lower back. Breathe into your mid-back. Good. With your next breath in, curl your toes under. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Now engage through your core before you move. So really draw your belly up so that you're engaging in your lower abdomen. And then use the strength of your arms to lift yourself up to a tabletop. So on your hands and knees in a tabletop position. So check that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Your fingers will be spread nice and wide. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. And your belly is drawing up so you have a nice flat back. Now draw your shoulders away from your ears. And just take some breaths here as you extend forward through the crown of your head. Extend back behind you through your tailbone. Now this might be enough engagement through the core for some of us. For others, if you'd like a little bit more, you can begin by extending your right leg long back behind you. Now point your toes down towards the floor and roll your thigh in. Now make sure you're lifting up on your left hip. You're engaging through your core. If you'd like even a little bit more, you could extend your left arm forward. Take some breaths here. Feel as if you have maybe a corset wrapped around your lower belly, kind of your mid-back, drawing all of that in towards your spine. And gently release your left hand, release your right knee. Take a pause here to come back to a nice neutral spine. And then gently extend your left leg long, pointing your toes down towards the floor. Roll your thigh slightly in. Make sure your shoulders didn't come up suddenly by your ears. And maybe you stay here as you just keep drawing your abdomen up. Maybe you extend your right arm long if you'd like. Take some breaths. Hugging your outer hips in towards one another, long through both sides of your waist. Last breath here. And gently release your right hand, release your left knee. Walk your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. Bring your big toes together to touch and start to bring your hips back over your heels. You could always take a pillow on the tops of your heels if you'd like. And then just rest your forehead down, lengthening your chest forward. Your arms could rest at your sides. And just soften through your lower back. Release any tension that those last few poses created. Allow your belly to be soft, just nestled in between your thighs. Breathe nice and deeply in and out of your torso. Take one last full breath in. Complete breath out. And then walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to a seated posture. Swing your legs out in front of you. And just as we started our practice, we shall end it. So come towards the middle of your mat, your feet planted on the floor. Take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Start to round through your lower back. And then slowly come all the way down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock left and right. Good. And then bring your feet all the way down onto your mat. Bring your feet together and your knees together to touch. Open your arms out wide. You could take them into kind of cactus arms. Otherwise, straight out would be fine as well. Lift your hips up off the floor and just move them over an inch to the left. Now draw your belly in a little bit to protect your lower back and draw your knees over towards the right. Now they may not come all the way to the floor. That's okay. You could take a block or a pillow or a blanket underneath so you have some support underneath your knees if you'd like. Or maybe they do come all the way to the floor. But again, if that causes any tension in your lower back, be sure to come out of the posture. Good. Just release here through your left hip. Relax through your spinal column. And breathe nice and deeply. Notice if you're holding in your muscles anywhere. And see if you can let go. Good. Gently engage through your belly, your lower abdomen. Draw it in. And then reach your knees back up towards the sky. Bring your hips back to center. And just pause there for a moment, noticing how you feel. And then gently walk your hips an inch over to the right, letting your knees come all the way over to the left. Again, using support underneath your knees if you want to here, if you need to. Just allow your hips to be heavy. Allow your thighs to be heavy and all the muscles to relax. Good, and gently draw your navel in. Bring your legs back up towards the sky, your hips back to center. Let your arms rest at your sides. Walk your feet out wide, wider than your hips. Maybe if you're on a mat, towards the outer edges of your mat. And let your knees just fall in towards one another. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your lower back, where our awareness goes, our breath goes. So allow your breath to travel into your low back, your buttocks, your hips, your pelvis. Slow your breath down, taking nice long inhales and full exhales. Bring your hands to your belly, and then feel the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen as it fills up with breath on the inhale. And it releases down on the exhale. As you feel ready, you can begin to straighten your legs forward and down. You're still feeling achy in your lower back. Take a pillow underneath your knees. Once your legs are straight, or maybe they're still slightly bent, take your hands again to the flesh of your buttocks and just use your hands to kind of sweep and smooth out the flesh forward towards your heels. And you might feel a nice lengthening there in your lower back. And then again, you could keep your knees bent if you'd like, or straighten your legs. And then your arms will rest at your sides for your Shavasana. Allow your feet to naturally roll outward. Allow your palms to be up towards the sky so your shoulders can rest down towards the earth. And just let go of any sense of control. Allow yourself to just rest and restore. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. So please feel free to continue to rest and relax. If you're ready to come out of the practice, you could bend your knees, bringing your feet down onto the earth. And you could sway your knees a little bit left and right. And gently blink your eyes open, just taking in the space that you're in. And as you feel ready, reach your right arm overhead and then slowly, gently roll over to your right side, coming into a fetal posture. And just rest on your right side for a few breaths. And then using the strength of your left hand in front of your face, press that down into the earth to lift your body all the way back up, letting your head be the last thing to rise. Just coming to sit with your legs crossed out in front of you, your hands at your heart. Close your eyes and just feel a sense of gratitude for your practice and for taking this time for some self-care, for nurturing your body, your lower back today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.